My name is Dahlia Orth, and I am the owner of Dahlia Orth Creative. I'm actually a third-generation business owner, so I grew up in the world of business owning from a young age. My grandparents actually owned a flower shop, and their signature line was always, "Thank you for calling Cooper's." Then in 1995, my mom actually became a real estate agent, and it launched her into what would be a 25-year career. And to be honest, it was a lot harder than most people realized. We sacrificed as a family a lot of time. Really, I thought, if this is what business owning is like, I don't want to be a part of that. And it was never something I really chased after. In 2014, I actually moved to Cleveland, Ohio. I decided to be an intern at a large church in Cleveland, and I was in grad school. And so I didn't actually have a lot of time to get a part-time job. So I really had to be flexible with what I decided to do to make an extra income. And so naturally, I just decided to become a photographer out of a curiosity, and it was something I loved doing since high school, and I thought, well, maybe I can make something into this, and that's how my photography business was born. In 2018, I went to my first creative conference called Creative at Heart, and I wasn't sure at all what to expect. And I wanted to just really invest into myself and into my business and get some education that way. It was at that conference, the very first day, somebody came to me and she said to me, "Have you ever thought about being a virtual assistant?" And that question really changed my life forever. I literally said to her, "I have no idea what you're talking about." And I just thought, well, maybe I'll explore it and see what might happen. And I came home and I thought, well, why not? In January of 2019, I actually took on another part-time internship with another virtual assistant, and I really got my feet wet, and I thought, I actually really enjoy the work that I get to do with other business owners behind the scenes. And so I started to pursue that more in addition to doing photography. It was in that same year that I went back to Creative at Heart, and it was during that week that somebody actually pursued me and said, "Hey, we need a virtual assistant on our team." And that's how I booked my first virtual assistant client. And then of course we know in 2020, COVID hit, and that was the point where I was like, oh my goodness. But my online business as a virtual assistant actually took off even more, and I doubled my revenue in 2020. 2020 was actually the year as well that I was approached by HoneyBook to join their pros program. I just started to set it up behind the scenes for other business owners. I did it very independently, and then in the HoneyBook community, when people started to ask for referrals, my name started to get thrown out by other clients, and HoneyBook was just starting that program. And they came to me and said, "Hey, would you consider joining?" So that's how I became a HoneyBook Pro, and that radically changed my life and my business as well. 2021 was then the year that I think my business was at its peak. And that was really the time that I was like, this is it. Like, I have arrived. And then in the spring of 2022, my life dramatically changed on April 1st because my mom unexpectedly passed away. And that just completely turned my world upside down. And it was at that point that I really thought, what does it matter if I'm running a successful business, but I'm losing out on a ton of time with people that I love? That moment really changed the game for me. So I spent the summer with my family. I never compromised once with time with them. And I really started to scale back my business, and I really started to assess, why does business owning matter for me? And I recognized how important it is to have foundations in business and really to shape the business that you want to have for the life that you want to live. In September of 2022, I came back after the dust settled, and I was in a season where I thought, well, I have this freedom, why not volunteer my time somewhere? I was either going to work on staff again at the church that I love so dearly. There was an opening for a project manager and some admin support, or I was like, I'm gonna go be a baby snuggler. But I actually decided to go and pursue the project management role, and I've actually done that for an entire year now, completely volunteer-based while running my business. And when I tell people that story, they think, what are you talking about? Because they think to themselves, that's like another full-time job, but it's actually been one of the most life-giving things for me. It's not just about creating systems for people, it is very much about creating transformation, not only in their business, but also in their lives. And that's why we do what we do at Dahlia Orth Creative, because Systems are really a foundational piece to business owning. We can have the prettiest website and we can have the most beautiful marketing, but if we have no way of serving our clients behind the scenes, then you're not only letting them slip through the cracks, but we're also becoming overwhelmed. And so one of the things I like to say to people when I work with them is, I want you to breathe a literal sigh of relief. Like, I can just go enjoy my life because I know my business is handled behind the scenes and I don't have to compromise that time. We really value integrity, transparency, and transformation in the work that we get to do. So it would truly be an honor to serve you behind the scenes in your business and to provide you with a system that will not only provide that transformation and that literal sigh of relief that we talk about, but also so you can have the confidence to shape the business that you desire to have so that you never miss out on the moments that matter most to you as a business owner.